and different things like that. So how did this whole Decep culture start? Tell them what is Decep, because Bianca's looking like, because I hear you know about Blood, you know about Crips, right?
Yeah, I do know about Blood and Crips. Yes, I do.
You know about Deceps?
I do not.
Exactly. Okay.
Decep started in like 85, right? I think like 85.
I was not in high school in 85. Okay.
Something like that. I believe that's the year. You know what I mean?
Hold on, so he explaining it to me. You want me to learn?
Yes.
That's a brotherhood though, like a brotherhood, sister. It's a family thing because it started.
At the time, it was a gang. Be honest.
No,
man.
I'm just saying. You say where it started.
It's an organization.
It started with brothers. It wasn't no like, hey guys, we're gonna start a gang.
Yeah.
We're gonna go
brothers,
against these guys.
yeah.
Like what's the interesting thing about Decep story is like the brothers. When you say hell, Megatron is Rick, right? That's the big brother.
Rest in peace, right?
And the enforcer, that's Rumble, right?
Rest in peace, right?
And the little brother is Cyclonus.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's a brotherhood. Like physically, it's brothers that's really there to protect each other. Now,
That's
these
not
brothers.
what I remember.
No. You came later. You came later when it was turned up. It was crack era and all of that. It was
You came into the violence.
It had fast forward into the future where it's like, all right, brothers is now tearing up the strip. Yeah, the name was definitely preceding itself, and it was crazy. So, but the brotherhood. And not forget the sisters that held it down as well. It was more so family, if anything. So I mean, it's a lot I could say, but I don't know. Like you can go directions. It's a lot of people that's talking about Decep online. They don't really got all of they stuff together.
I feel that when we talk about history of New York and different things like that, even hip hop, I feel like Deceps or Decepticons is left out a lot. They'll talk about Blood Crips, then they'll talk about Low Lives.
Let me pardon your wisdom. I'm glad you brought this up because I'm like, a lot of times I was building my wisdom too because like we came up in an era where like Decep, it wasn't popular to talk about your crimes. You know what I'm saying? Decep was a criminal organization. It became a criminal organization. You wanted me to say it? All right, we was doing dirt. We was doing bad stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? And like you have enemies. So we ain't gonna look Decep, hey, we flagging. We was not flagging. No Decep wasn't wearing Decepticon jackets.
He was not.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, and if we was, that we was going on what we call a what. You know what I mean?
I remember it called a whip. I remember saying there wasn't a whip.
Oh, what's a what?
No, it's called a what? It used to be a whip out.
Okay, whip out. Okay.
Yeah, they used to get whipped out, but it was the mission was called the what?
Okay.
Yeah, man. Salute the Watercons, man.
It was so crazy in the beginning because
you was down Decep too.
Yeah, we all was Decep.
I'm sorry. No.
Can't none be used against me in a court of law.
Allegedly.
I mean,
the laws is changing. Like
what's crazy is right. The school we went to, which was graphic arts, as a high school. Which was labeled Cybertron, was a gifted school. Like back in the day, you used to have to take tests to get into certain high schools and get into those.
That and Brooklyn Tech.
And Brooklyn Tech.
So that's why I was keep this in mind that these are people that were deemed smart.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes, right?
Yeah. Right.
So for me, it might have been different for anybody else. But for me, I remember coming from junior high school going into high school before I even became Decepticon. So all I knew about Decep was the cartoons and all the names and everything. And then, once you started to learn the people and who names it was like, oh, I understand why this nigga got his name from.
Okay,
So it used to be my man Laserbeak. When we first got to school, everybody used to just be like, yo, if you see this nigga, you Laserbeak, which was the bird from Decepticon, come get all the information and go back. And be like, yo, if you see this nigga, you too much, they about to try to get you.
Okay.
So this was all probably like for the first week of being fresh in high school, hearing about Decepticons. Yo, niggas got a what? They gonna do this? And truancy was in our high school. So anybody who got picked up for cutting school, the truant officers would bring them to our school.
Okay.
So that was on the second floor, right on top of the lunchroom. So you pass the truancy office, going to lunch. So all we did was just really had to peek and just be
Fishbowl.
like, so like, oh, son, I got something on the hook in there. When he come out, it's a rat. But yeah, that was my intro into Decepticons, just learning the names and learning the people. And like you said,
How did people get their names?
brotherhood.
Did you take it? Was it earned?
Nah,
Was it given?
it was earned and given. Like
earned,
you couldn't really pick your own name. Like
You had to be making some noise to pick your own
somebody
name,
usually named you a name. Like my name was Monstructor. His name was Steel Punch. So
Yeah, I got my name from Minnesota, right? So Minnesota, that's.
Well, what did you have to do to get your name?
I had to knock niggas.
Okay.
I had to be on the front line,
pretty much.
on the what, and yeah, that was that. But yeah, like these cats wasn't just like, I mean, the time was crazy. A lot of people think we was out. We had beef with all these different crews. It was just like, it's like any other teenagers out there. If you ran across dudes and if it was on, you get your friends. That's how it was. So that just grew because it was like some of these guys are gonna be criminals. Some of these guys are gonna have plans. They're gonna want to go rush into B. Altman's. They're gonna want to go run up and Tenton Trails. That sounds like
B.
fun.
Altman,
You're like, yeah,
Tenton
let's go.
Trails.
Next thing you know, we doing, it's that type of deal. You might want to go to Irving. Go bag up some shorties, or go to Martin Luther King or something like that. Then you start seeing cats with low gooses on. You're like, wow, let me get that. It's like it's just exciting.
You get up to the school and you hear the principal actually on a loudspeaker, yo, those Decepticons is up
I
here.
used to hear that. That's what I'm saying.
An early
Yes.
dismissal. Go out the back.
I used to hear that. Yes. That's what I'm saying in school. I used to hear that. Like,
Now,